Hello and good evening to the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike and Laurent. It is Friday, November 5th. In this episode, we round up the Champions League that we forgot to talk about on Monday. Newcastle might have a new manager, and we preview the big old Manchester derby, a game I hate because it's always in the face. But first, Mike, we've got to talk about Ronaldo. Again, how many times can he bail out Ole? He did it again.
He did it again. There's so much.
He did it again.
He's responsible. Again? Like when you think about like how much a player is responsible for points wise in both the Champions League and the Premier League. Holy shit. We're only a third of the way through the season, roughly, maybe a quarter. And he's responsible for like 12 to 15 points. It's insane.
What was funny about the whole thing is like, he's going to have a good season and United are going to have a bad season.
You mean like Juventus?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just this weird thing where like I was listening to all the podcasts and all the things. Now, one thing that's funny is remember to stay with narrative. If City lose to United, they're tied on points. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't make any sense.
And Pep's a genius, and Ole's going to get fired.
Yeah, exactly. And Pep's a genius, and Ole's going to get fired.
Let's
go back to this Champions League we're talking about. They drew with Atalanta again. They get a really good goal early from Bruno, a really nice connection. Clearly, he and Ronaldo have a Portuguese love fest thing going on. You know, I feel like Bruno uses his beard and puts it right into Ronaldo's ass. And they really have a good time there. I know that's not an appropriate joke to our friend who rated us a review. It's okay. It's funny.
They're jokes.
They're jokes. But again, Atalanta was better. Zapata was better. Varane went off. All the same things that happened with United were the same. Mm-hmm. Pogba was all over the place. The same shit. And then Ronaldo, late game, edge of the box, bing bang, bosh, 1-2 with Greenwood, who was like, can I shoot here? Can I just let me shoot? But he really was covered and Ronaldo was free. And Ronaldo, again, just world-class finish after world-class finish after world-class finish. And he fucking bails out United again. It's not even different. Like they literally had a 2-2 draw with Ronaldo bailing them out a week ago.
Yeah.
He did it again. He's incredible. He really is.
And with that point, right? They go top of Group F.
Yeah, they're totally fine. Yeah.
Well, now they are because if they hadn't gotten that point, then Atalanta would be in. They would literally have gone from first to third, and Atalanta would go from third to first, right? Yeah. So there's still a lot to play for. There's 2 games left, one against Villarreal and one against Young Boys, which I'm never gonna not laugh at.
The thing is,
but Villarreal
they have a Europa League group, and they're struggling.
I think Atalanta's a Champions League team at this point. Or they're a really good Europa League team.
They're missing their whole defense.
They never had a defense.
But the defense they had is not there. Right?
Sure,
like, what if they were decent? I mean, it's just... Anyway, I'm going to kill Ole until he's gone, and then I'm going to miss him because they're going to get a real manager, and I'm going to be like, why did I want him gone? What will I talk about?
Look, they have to go to Spain. Right. Let's stay with the United for a second. They go to Spain to play Villarreal. If they don't get 3 points, the good news for them is that they're going to get. Well, they might get 3. They have the easiest game left in the last game of the.
Yeah, but they lost it already.
But they lost it once, but you've got to think that you can bank on 3 points there. So
here's the thing though with United, and we know this already. That game they will take lightly. Because it's not a name brand team.
No, not if they need it.
I don't trust this group of players to feel like that's a big game.
I understand that. And they are traveling. I'm sorry. They're at home. They're at home with the group, the knockout stage on their line. That's 3 points. Come on.
That happened to them last year against Leipzig and they blew it.
Yeah, but Leipzig is not young boys yet. Leipzig could actually pip you, right? So
yeah.
No, I mean, look. So let's project a little bit. Right. Let's project a little bit. Man United beats Young Boys in that last game. So almost as if the order was switched. It's more fun this way. But let's be fair and say Man United are going to finish the group with a minimum of 10 points.
Atalanta 10 gets you through.
Yes, because Atalanta and Villarreal one of them, the most they can have is 10, and at that point,
they're not going to
the
be
goal
in Europa,
difference
unless they lose games. Yeah,
right. But okay, stay with me for a second, because if are Atalanta and Villarreal playing twice?
Everybody plays.
No, sorry, everybody. No, I know. I'm trying to figure out who plays who. Atalanta will also play Young Boys then. They play them next, right? So you've got to assume by that same token that Atalanta will be on 8 minimum. Man United will be on 10 minimum, and there will be 2 games that are the inflection point. It'll be
Atalanta has Young Boys and Villarreal.
That's what
Young
I'm saying.
Boys away, Villarreal at home.
At home, that's interesting, because then what I'm saying is, let's say Atalanta is on 8 after the 5th match day. United and Villarreal at Old Trafford. I'm sorry, no, that's on the road. That's the game that's going to decide the group, right? Because if Villarreal gets a result out of that, then they go to Atalanta. Whoever wins, that's a win or go home game for both teams, because United's going to be on 10 or 11, or it could be 12. I'm sorry, it could be 10, 11, or 13.
You're losing your mind. What are you doing?
What I'm projecting is who the Villarreal Atalanta game at the end of the group is going to be a fight to the death. A draw basically hurts. It'll hurt Atalanta more, I think. It'll hurt Villarreal more, because Atalanta is going to be on 8, unless Villarreal beats United. So clearly a lot to play for on Group F still.
Yeah, somebody has to do the math and figure all this out. But yeah, I mean,
smarter than us.
Again, United did not have a good performance. They got bailed out again against teams that they should be beating. The bigger news on this, and this segues into the Manchester derby.
Wait, I figured it out. One more.
For fuck's sake, man.
If what you're rooting for is a Villarreal result against United, because Atalanta will beat Young Boys.
Course.
They'll be on always. But I'm saying, unless you're a United fan, you're a neutral, because then that means Atalanta on 8 and Villarreal on either 8 or 10, which means United's going to probably beat Young Boys. That'll give them. But that Villarreal Atalanta game will be the most fun if they both get a result in match week 5. Anyway, we're on to the next.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
That rolls into the. We'll talk about the Manchester derby in a second, but Varane going out is a big deal. United have not had a clean sheet without Varane in the team. Just something for the Manchester derby. Put that in your pocket. But I do want to talk about Liverpool, who have developed a nice little blood feud with Athletic, with Cholo Simeone's team at Anfield. Liverpool, again, you know what? I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. That's the best team in Europe right now. They score goals like City used to score goals. They still give up a goal now and again, but they are popping it around. One of the things I noticed was Atletico basically putting 3 guys around Salah whenever he got the ball. And what would happen? He'd pop it out to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He'd hold his head up, check the wind, and cross it to Jota, the greatest tiny person who heads a ball ever. Jota basically is like a 6'8" center who leads the league in blocks. Like, I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he's always off the back shoulder, always in the air, always scoring goals on headers. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of them was on purpose. One of them was a chasse that was such a bad shot that Jota just deflected it in. But Liverpool win again. A red card. That was weird. There was a red card in this game because Mane got his Achilles dragged down, and then the guy ran away and didn't want to get the card, like it was FIFA 2001 where you could run around and never get the card.
No, that was like 95.
Right. And then he started doing that, and the ref's like, you know what? Fuck you. This yellow, putting it away. Straight red. Fuck off. So Atletico de Madrid goes down. A love affair between Suarez and Athletic is over. They don't give a fuck about Liverpool. Just tells you what you know about the loyalty of Scouts. They can remember the 96 for 40 years, but guy almost wins you the league. No, we're going to boo him every time he chases the ball. You're fucking hypocrites. Fuck you, Scousers. Did I say it? I did.
They're jokes, folks.
It's terrible that those people got crushed, and it's terrible that the police covered it up.
We're gonna read this on air because it's actually pretty good. It's the best. It's actually my favorite rating we've ever gotten. Elitism, racism brings it down. From Tuesday from our friend Tom Conwell. Now, the best part about this rating is that it gives us 3 stars, which means he actually likes the content, but he just doesn't enjoy a sense of humor. He goes, "Good football discussion." Thank you, Tom. Marred with the mockery of the underprivileged in 2 recent episodes. Now, this probably
yes, that's true.
I don't remember what we said.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
I'm certain that it's true. I actually sent that to a
You know what? To be fair,
that.
Tom, it's not Mike. It's me. I'm the one who brings it up. I have this habit of just trying to be near the edge of something. If you don't like people talking about other people being bombed during wars and having to be connected to ball games, that's me. You know, I'm gonna make
a little bit, yeah.
I'm gonna make fun of Hillsborough. It's terrible. It's awful. We all know it. But it also is a little bit something to make fun of because it was dragged out. Just a little bit. Now, did the police cover it up? Sure. Anyway, I'm talking about something else. There's a documentary if you want to watch it. It's also 4 hours long. It's not that interesting. They got crushed. It's over.
I'd rather be stampeded than watch 4 hours of that shit. But Tom, here's an offer for you. You've got us on Instagram. You've got us on Twitter, Squeaky Bum Pod. Chat with us. Tell us what you thought was wrong. We'll invite you on the show, and we will genuinely. We'd love to have you. And that's not like an attack. This isn't Fox News. We'd like, hey, tell us why we're idiots. We know we're idiots.
I promise you. Idiots. We're not that clever enough to know how to do an attack hit. Yeah, we just like, hey, look, a person. I love you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we love you for listening. Liverpool, we love you for rating, and we love you for offending you. So
yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, Atletico Liverpool is getting a little bit of a blood feud. I like it. It's clashes in styles. It's 2 super duper passionate fan bases. It's 2 managers who run their team on emotion, but use that emotion for different things, right? Klopp uses his emotion to drive the team to attack, and Simeone uses his emotion to drive his team to kick you. Mm-hmm. And that clash of ideas was really cool. And there's a little bit of vengeance. I think right now, you know, Atleti put Liverpool out last year in the ground zero for COVID in Liverpool, that game that nearly killed half the city. But you know, and it also spread COVID to Spain, right? It was a COVID bomb that happened. It reminded me of like a fuzz bomb from Agent USA. If anyone played video games in 1982,
there you go.
Anyway, so that happened. I love that game. That was fun. It made me petrified of Liverpool, and then actually reminded me that City beat the shit out of them, and I still can't believe that we only drew 2-2. We could have won that game. Anyway, an amazing performance by my team. I think that's our peak game. Now I do have to talk about go back to Manchester for my team and talk about the Manchester derby. This is a game that I loathe this game. I loathe it. I hate it. The Manchester derby has very famous moments for City in the 6-1. The Why Always Me game and all these famous games. But it doesn't feel like City has United's number. In the season we were going to win the league and did end up with 100 points, City completely annihilates United in the first half, 2-0 in 2018 in the first half. Like, it was like I was running around, dancing around, texting people, telling them, I can't believe your team's going to lose. City lost that game 3-2 at home because Paul Pogba went fucking white hot nuclear.
And wasn't that was the game they could have
clinched the title.
Old Trafford? Was it Old Trafford or was it the Etihad?
Yes. No, it was at the Etihad.
Right. But nonetheless, it was against United. Yeah.
And there's been a couple
because they basically they were like, we know you're gonna win the title. We don't fucking care. Not on our watch. And you did it the next week, and it was almost like
it didn't count right
anymore.
Right. It's this City can only dominate narrative by their play. We don't have characters.
Yeah.
We only have Pep. So City only pop up into the show as like, we're like the assassin in Goodfellas. You know, it's like, oh, this is the guy shows up in the suit and goes and whacks people. He's cool. He's really good at his job, but he never talks in the movie. Right. So that's kind of what City are. We're a Sicilian assassin who doesn't talk. We're Luca Brasi, basically. It's not
there you
good.
Go. I like that. I like that reference.
Or the other one. There's a later one. I can't remember his name. Anyway, whatever the assassins are, that's what City are. And then the other pieces that I have to I'm worried for and call out when you watch the game, really pay attention. If Kevin De Bruyne plays, pay attention to what he looks like, how he moves, how many passes he blows and misses. He's been playing bad. City fans will tell you for the whole season.
Let me ask you a question.
Assists. He's not moving well. He's a mess.
Okay. Let me
sort of
like
Harry Kane is.
Yeah. But okay. Is he playing poorly or is he playing poorly for Kevin De Bruyne?
He's playing poorly for Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. So he's an above average Premier League midfielder.
Oh, he's still the best team on half the teams in the league, but he's not the best.
But he's not the best player in the league
He's not the best player on City right now. Like, he misses passes. He doesn't do things. And this goes back to something I said. I probably said it a while ago, probably at the beginning of the season. The Jack Grealish buy didn't make sense if he's a Sterling replacement. The Jack Grealish buy makes sense if he's the Kevin De Bruyne replacement. Yeah, and that's what he is. Mm-hmm. And if you watch this game that City just played, it won pretty easily against Bruges, whatever, it's fine. Grealish started drifting to the middle, started to play in the spaces that Kevin De Bruyne plays in, but not as deep. So higher up, but in the middle of the pitch. Made a couple of really good passes to free Foden. Foden is just straight up a number 9 now, which is fucking incredible.
Fucking love Phil Foden, man. He's awesome.
He's just great. And City played well. And again, the Cancelo thing. When Cancelo is at his best, he's literally unplayable, except when he isn't. He hit the post from like 30 yards on a through ball, a De Bruyne ball from Grealish, which was weird and odd. I'm like, why is Grealish all the way back there?
A De Bruyne-ish ball from Grealish?
A De Bruyne-ish ball from Grealish.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
You're confusing.
No, I understand that. But he was deeper. It was a through ball, perfectly weighted. The whole thing where you're just like, okay, he's going to be the second 8, and he'll play with Silva and Gundogan, and it'll be something different, and we'll see what happens. And then what was nice was Sterling got on for a cameo on his preferred side, which is the right side, and he got to play the position he played when he used to play with Sané. The best version of Manchester City I ever saw was Sané on the left, on the right, on the left. I never know. On the left, Sané on the left, Aguero, Sterling with Silva and De Bruyne. That was the best version of the team. Fernandinho. That was the unstoppable version, right?
And that was where they could play back,
right? And they can't play that way anymore, right? So they're still trying. Like, what City's in is they're in transition, right? But still awesome. So that's why, like, I don't get bummed out when they lose. I'm just like, well, we won the league last year and shouldn't have won because everyone else was awful. And Liverpool is fired up. And if they win the league, I would not be surprised. But we're talking Champions League. But that's really where we are. We have Chelsea, ho-hum. They get it done. Win 1-0. Again, not scoring a lot. Malmo, you got to fucking kick Malmo's ass.
We'll talk a little bit more about Chelsea in a bit, but I look through the rest of the tables. As far as the English teams are concerned, Chelsea is going to struggle to finish first, but they're through. Yeah. United probably through, like we talked about them more than enough already. Liverpool through, City are through. There will be some struggles for the top spots. Have PSG and City played for a second time yet?
No.
Okay, so that's going to be
basically... But the way PSG are sort of...
They're capitulating.
They're not cohesive. Mm-hmm. Very hard team to coach, right? Like, Pochettino doesn't seem to be able to get his message across. You know, just
of course he can.
Tough team to coach.
If we could have held out a little bit longer.
No. We'll go on to Conte's Spurs in a minute because he was there today in the Conference League, which, by the way, has an amazing intro video. The green laser beams. It's a terrible looking trophy, bullshit. But the intro is amazing. Yeah.
If there was a lampshade trash can, it would be this trophy.
Lampshade trash can. I don't care. They got lasers, bitch. Lasers.
So we'll finish up our European conversation with not even the NIT, like the Aloha Invitational of Europe. Was the first.
Give a little respect. Hold on. West Ham through in the Europa. The real Europa.
Leicester still struggling, going to have to put themselves through. They got another draw.
So they're a little sputtery. So just keep that in mind.
And before we go to Spurs, we had a rematch in Rome of Roma and Bodø. And our friends from Bodø were winning. They were winning.
I know.
They went up 1-0 and they went up 2-1. But the Roma pulled one back in the 84th and they drew 2-2. So Roma took 1 out of a possible 6 points from Bodø. And so yeah, I mean, if I look at the table,
by the way, that team Bodø, if you go look and read all about them, they're actually one of these like super stories that are just, they come up like 6 divisions.
That's awesome.
They're one of those like super teams, won the league for the first time in 35 years, probably have a cool young, that whole thing. Didn't someone get mad at us who was from Bodø?
It might have been Tom
on Twitter.
Maybe Tom's from
Bodø. Is that we're elitist against Norwegians?
Against bear fuckers, I suppose. But no, no, we need to
get bear bit back.
We need to get well done. God damn it. We need to give them their due. They are currently leading the trash can lampshade group with Roma in it. So there's two clubs that you'd be like, yeah, you're gonna win your group against all these teams that don't matter. Yeah. Neither Roma nor Spurs are leading their group right now. So full marks
in the Europa first. Conference League.
That's right. Yeah, they've
got Jose wants to win that fucking thing.
Oh, of course. So he can just say that he did. And you know that Roma and Spurs are going to go through each other at some point. And in the knockout stages, it has to be the way.
Conte will beat Mourinho. Come on.
But hold on. But like these guys, they've got their goal difference of +7 thanks to their shit kicking of Roma last week or 2 weeks ago. And they're in the driver's seat. They've played Roma twice. They play Zorya and CSKA Sofia. So those are the teams that they play, and they've already got a point advantage on Roma. So they're looking like they're pretty much through. And good on them. I'm rooting for them.
By the way, the Bodø Glimt logo is incredible. The G is very well hidden.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't even notice that.
After they beat Roma, cool. FotMob put their logo in the fucking app. But yeah, I mean, there's 3 teams, right? And I said this before on the show. Tottenham, Rennes, and Roma are really the 3 name brands if you go through this tournament and you look at all the results from the last few days. And yeah, I mean, I guess transitioning then to Spurs, Rennes leads the group by a full game, and the next game I believe is against Spurs, who struggled today. It was an eventful game. I only caught about 15 to 20 minutes of it, and it was still eventful for that period, right? So Spurs go up 3-0, and then in the first
half an hour,
and then bang bang Vitesse strike back with 2, so it's 3-2 at halftime, right? My guy Cudi Romero gets 2 yellow cards in the first 10 minutes of the second half, so he gets
way to show how good you are to your new coach, buddy.
Yeah, right. But I mean, he had the most Serie A, he had the most yellow cards in Serie A last year. He's an aggressive center back. We saw it in the West Ham game where he was screaming it. I think it was Fornals. He's one of your father's footballers, right? He's full-blooded Argentinian. Like, I'm gonna stab you. I have it in my sock right now. Don't fucking test me. But so he gets sent off, and I'm working on other stuff, doing work, trying to keep an eye on the game. But I was like, okay, I was in between meetings. I finally caught the last, like I said, 20, 25 minutes, and I turn it on. Spurs are down a man, and they're sort of battening down the hatches. They're about to make a triple substitution. For some reason, Davinson Sanchez gets subbed on, and he's got a bandage on his head. He looks like a fucking mummy. It's like, okay, that's a thing. And then in the span of 5 minutes, 2 different Vitesse players both get 2 yellow cards. So Spurs go from down a man to up a man. It's 10 versus 9 at that point.
Well, the one, it was Royale tried to chip the keeper who was like, out of his box.
Sorry, yes,
and
it wasn't. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't too straight on the keeper. So the one of the defenders gets 2 yellow cards within 5 minutes, just like Romero. And then so it's 10 on 10, and Royale gets put down the right, and the keeper, like, it was very weird.
Went nuts.
But he just comes into your frame. You're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And Royale did a Mane. He did a
Yeah,
Mane. He just chipped it right at him, and it hit him in the arm. Straight red. You're gone. So the backup keeper's like, what the fuck? I gotta play now. So they go in.
Yeah.
He makes a great head save while I was watching it.
How did you feel fundamentally about the lineup, the three at the back?
Well,
it felt like that was the team that Conte will play. Well, you can go into the previews against Everton on Sunday. It'll be something like that.
It'll be almost identical.
I think he's gonna fucking tire of Dyer, because Dyer was
it's the best he's got. That's not even the worst center back in that formation. It's Ben Davies.
Where's Rodon? Is he terrible?
No, he just hasn't earned the trust of anybody yet because he's a kid, and he hasn't.
Tanganga, give me Rodon. Those guys can play.
Well, the last time you saw Tanganga, he was getting bitched around by Zaha.
Yeah, well, Zaha does that. He did it to fucking to Laporte.
But the problem is that these guys don't have any historical data to go back on and say, no. Like, this is what their form really looks like when they're really solid and they're really kicking on, right? So you don't have that for Rodon. You don't have that for Tanganga.
I'm not Sanchez come out, which was nice to see.
I'm not advocating against either of them. I think they're going to be quite good, both of them. But neither of them's left-footed. And you go with what I don't necessarily even agree with the reasoning, but you go with what you have. And Ben Davies can play both sides. Positions in a back five. He can play wing back.
He can be back there. It'll be interesting to figure out what Conte does. I do think it's still that, how does the ball come from defense into Kane and Son? That's still the link, the space. It doesn't even have to be a midfielder. It could be down the wing. How does that get connected, right?
So I think
Reguilon clearly can make that move, but is it too obvious? You need options.
Well, Emerson can too, right? Yeah. And so the thing is, Royale, sorry.
Yeah.
Emerson Royale. I like the idea of the formation because it's a 3-4-3. They're not fucking around. And Conte, for as much as he was pragmatic in some of his Chelsea years, he's an attacking coach, and he's going to play fun games. They put up 3. Granted, it was on Vitesse, but put up 3.5 an hour. I don't trust 2/3 of that backline, and the one that I do is aggressive, right? Romero. So I don't know what the middle of the park is going to look like, as you said, because then that basically creates Skip and Højbjerg more or less outnumbered.
It can't play both of them.
Well, no. Okay, well, you're going to put in Ndombele there? He's a little bit more attacking minded. Then what I'm saying
I think that the issue is you can't play both of them because neither of them will pass the ball forward. Now, Højbjerg does it when he plays for Denmark, but for some reason he won't or doesn't carry the ball when he plays for Spurs.
When I look at this formation, I go, yeah, you're going to have Joy on the outside and you're going to get eaten alive in the middle of the park. And I don't have a good answer. I don't have a good alternative. I suppose it would be having Kane and Son up top and maybe Ndombele in the 8, where you have a double pivot of Skip and Højbjerg or Winks or whoever it is. And I'm not saying those players specifically, but that formation, that style, right? And I'm not saying that Conte's against that or hasn't done that in the past. He just doesn't have a fucking N'Golo Conte to fall back on. Right?
Nobody has N'Golo Conte.
He used to. So that's kind of where I look at it and I go, yeah, we're going to get stampeded on Sunday or whenever we're playing Everton. Yeah, Sunday.
Everton is a wounded animal.
They are, but you just ran. This was an emotional game, right? Because this was for whatever this trash bag lampshade trophy is worth to anybody. It's worth something to Spurs, and they went for it today.
And they need the games. Conte needs as many games as he can get to see what's going on, right?
Sure.
This is a game for him to review.
Son played 72 minutes. Højbjerg played 87. Not that he's much of a problem with the energy or endurance, but Kane played a full 90. Emerson, Reguilon both played a full 90, and they fucking ran a lot on the wings. So I think they're going to go
right back out there on Sunday.
Yeah,
play Everton.
I think this is a game that they do not do well, and it's not because Everton's that great. It's because Spurs are going to run out of gas late.
The thing is, Everton don't want the ball, so it was gonna be a hard game for Spurs anyway because they can't break anybody down as it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game though in the Pochettino years that they'd have no problem, and they would just put 4 on them.
Yeah, they would press them. They'd be like, "You don't want the ball? We're not going to let you even have the ball." Right? Like,
exactly.
"Oh, you're going to steal our passes? We'll just go get the ball back, and that will create the chances."
But
right?
since he left, and in the Mourinho years, and in the Nuno months, they've just gotten so far away from that. And the question I have is, does Dele draw in on Sunday? Because I don't think he is. I think that if you have an attacking manager,
third manager, he's going to try and
I will never give up on him. But no, my point is not so much about Dele. It's about that somebody has to come in and play, because this
hard
you can't.
And run.
Ndombele is going to play 90, right? Lo Celso, God help us all, he missed basically a full-on breakaway from the 18-yard line.
That's all right. It happens.
He hit the goalie in the face.
John Stones gave up an old goal off his face. It was fantastic.
Bergwijn, Dele,
I think you've got to trust Conte. He's going to do something weird. He'll take Bergwijn and make him a fucking winger. He'll do something weird.
Right.
He's really good. He will find a way. And speaking of finding a way forward, away the lads. We may have a manager in Newcastle.
Well, let's talk about who didn't say yes to them first.
That was a shit show.
We alluded to it in the opening, and if you got it, then good on you. But Unai Emery of Villarreal and Arsenal lore was apparently in contention. And
we're talking about the Europa League, 4-time Europa League champion. That's crazy. Yeah. 3 in a row.
To be fair, I have not followed this story that much. It just hasn't. But between the Conte stuff and it's actually curious to me why there's not more news about who they're going after, when they're going after him, so on and so forth.
I'm on this one.
And the thing is that you might have more money than God, but you're still a relegation side right now. That money doesn't count for anything right now. And between now and January 1st, you're up fucking Schitt's Creek, pal. And
they could go down easily.
You may get some players in that will save your season, but you're not going to get the super big name. I don't care how much money you have. You're not going to get the big name players to come in and change your squad seriously until the summer. And you're only going to get it then if you stay up. So that's where, if you look at the coaching idea, that's where they're struggling.
So I think the thing that is interesting about this is people think that what Manchester City did was just because of the money and it was easy. And this is one of these moments where it's like, yes, City had the money. Yes, City did buy players and all this stuff. But they were methodical about who they put in charge, which players they went after, and how they moved up the table.
So from a football director standpoint, they were very
and got
strong.
The best people to move this team. Now, granted, they were safely in the Premier League. They had already been okay. They were stabilized in the Premier League. They did have a season in living memory where they did not score a goal at home through the second half of the season. Amazing work by Stuart Pearce. People went 20 games without seeing a goal. That's awful. So what's happening with Newcastle is they don't have the structure in place to even make these decisions. So the British press started leaking that Emery was going to come and it was a done deal, and it was not a done deal. And Emery was like, wait a minute, you guys are acting like...
Nope, you got to do it in the Emery accent.
I cannot do good evening. I don't have it.
That's all you need. You just have to start every sentence with good evening.
Good evening. So Emery sort of doesn't like the way the approach happens. Like, this isn't cool. I don't like this. His family's like, I don't want to move to fucking cold hell death. I don't buy the family thing. He basically doesn't like the approach. He doesn't like the setup. He doesn't like any of it. He'd rather stay in Villarreal where he's doing well. He's in this Champions League group and he's okay. Right?
And it's 65 degrees, 11 months of the fucking year.
Right. And he has Danjuma, who, if you don't know about the championship and Danjuma, go look at Danjuma play. This is one of these tricky African wingers or of French descent who just like flies. He's like a Mahrez type. You're like, what the fuck? How did he do that?
Yeah.
So he's got that little mojo, but he played at Bournemouth last year and they got him for $25 million. It was a big deal. Anyway, he refuses them. So now it's Eddie Howe.
What a great Bournemouth segue. Good job. Love that.
So Eddie Howe has a couple of players who went from Bournemouth to Newcastle. So he'll know Wilson, he'll know Fraser, who are two players he knows. But he was not exactly a defensive coach, right? He did take Bournemouth levels and levels and levels up, took them from the 4th division all the way up, saved them when they had gone into bankruptcy, had a 10-point deduction, and stayed up, which is hard. So he has the thing, but the thing that scares me about Howe is when they were in the Premier League, they had 5 seasons in the league, they bought lots of players, none of those players were good. He could not develop players. It ended up just being the core of the guys that he came up with, staying with him the whole way, and he sent them down.
Yep.
So and then they stayed together for 5 years. Like, I just think the one that really stands out is Jordan Ibe, who at one time at Liverpool, he and Raheem Sterling were neck and neck, and Bournemouth fans were like, yeah, we got Jordan Ibe. You guys got freaking Sterling. I'm like, I don't know where Jordan Ibe is now, but he ain't in the Premier League. Yeah. So that's on Howe. So that part's tricky. I don't know if he's up for the fight. He did not seem to have a solution when Bournemouth were about to go down and ended up going down. I think they lost some games down the stretch. Anyway.
But let's go back a little bit. He's a good manager. He's a likable guy. I love him. I love those Bournemouth teams. I always love rooting for him as a neutral. And that's exactly it. They're a likable. With those Bournemouth teams, when they came up, they were not quite Brentford. They were a likable attacking team, right? And that's really all we say that we want. So what we have here in the table, we have one less team who is playing negative football and one more team who is going to try and win the game, which is all we want when we're watching.
Which is what we want, right? Like, I would rather the teams go down trying to win games rather than trying not to lose them.
And look, let's be clear. By the way, they're already 6 points.
Yeah.
They're already 6 points adrift, of leads and early days, but a bunch of draws really isn't going to do much for you at this point. No, so you might as well. We talk about it all the time. Go try and get 3 points every once in a while.
Yeah, it's like the 3-pointers in basketball. Why are you taking 2s? Take 3s. Try and win. Yeah. So speaking of Bournemouth, though, they have set the record for points at this point in the season in the championship. They're undefeated under Scott Parker.
Oh, and Scott Parker's he's going to take them up, and then he's going to leave.
Yeah, he wants that Spurs job.
Yeah, listen, man. We'll see.
Yeah. He already took the Fulham job. Here's
my prediction. He's going to take Brighton after Graham Potter leaves.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Graham Potter's going to Leicester.
I agree. I think
coaching carousel. I'm gonna.
And by the way, that's a rumor that City fans are freaking out about. That Brendan Rodgers could be the successor to Pep. I do not want Brendan Rodgers.
No, you don't.
He's not. He doesn't have enough gravitas. The players will be like, "Shut the fuck up! Get out of here with your bullshit."
He would be Pochettino at PSG.
Yeah. They would just. Oh, but my team is imminently more coachable than that group. So sure. We've gone through a bunch of stuff. We talked about Newcastle, how they hang in there. We've got to look at some of our Premier League matchups for this week. Not a great week aside from the Derby. We do have
early though. That stinks.
No, that's good. I'll just get up and watch it, and the game will be over. I'll do some things. I've got a rock and jump birthday party to go to, which, by the way, you don't know about these things. They're fucking awesome. It's all trampolines and shit. It's just a room full of trampolines. No, for kids.
Oh,
but you can jump around too. Ball pits, all that kind of shit.
Oh, wow.
Rock climbing video games.
I would do some drugs. I'd drown in the ball pit.
Yeah, ball pit is petrifying, by the way. Once you're in there, you really can't get out.
Just germs and piss.
And germs and fucking
it's like happy-go-lucky quicksand.
I'm sure there's like weird pedo sperm in there. It's fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah. No, by my count, we have
Did I say pedo sperm? I did say pedo.
You did. You're gonna upset Tom. I'm getting good with the callbacks. There's 3 good games that I see, or 2.5. And then there's some interesting ones. So we talked about United and City. That's obviously the headliner.
That's obvious, right?
The end of the weekend card is a huge top 4 6-pointer with West Ham going to Anfield, or is it at home? Is
the other way around?
Oh, they're
going to
London
Stadium. Yeah, they're going to London.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's We were talking about our best bets. Did you put that down?
I did not. I did not touch that draw. I mean, I might talk about it, but I didn't put any money down.
Yeah. It's like 320 for plus 320 for West Ham to draw.
I feel like the Sunday games are more interesting, right? Leeds Leicester should be fun. Yeah. Your team is a Conte against Benitez. The league is so interesting. It's so much good coaching all the time. I just saw another good one I didn't really think about too much, but Palace Wolves promises to be fun. That's a little like
Wolves Palace in what, 7th right now?
They're good, right? Large has them playing good stuff.
He does.
Then your funny game of Chelsea Burnley, you're really not feeling Chelsea right now. You think Burnley can shut them down? I think you're crazy. I think the Chelsea.
I'm not saying they can. Well, I guess I was.
It could be a 0-0, but they're not. Chelsea aren't giving up a goal. There's no way.
Well, yeah, no, sure. Well, I mean, this kid from Burnley is quite good, but if
Cornet,
I looked at it and I said Burnley was plus like 1150 or something like that. I'm not doing a Laurent special, as we say.
But maybe I will. Maybe I'll just throw that out there.
But
if it's over 1,000, you know what? That one I'll wait for because that'll go up.
Yeah. But listen, my point about Chelsea Burnley is that Chelsea they've been struggling, right? Like they've been struggling from a personnel perspective. They were slow against Newcastle. They were gifted the game against Norwich. And I like I said on last week's show, I was right, but I was off by a week in that they would start sluggish against Newcastle and then get the job done at the end. I went draw and then Chelsea. What I'm going to do this time.
That it encompasses Chelsea's problem. Are you ready?
Go for it.
This is all you have to know. They are plus 23 in goal difference and plus 6 in expected goal difference. So they are scoring goals, but the performance is not in line with what you'd expect. They're getting luck in defense and luck in scoring. Now, this doesn't mean it's not the be all and end all, but when you watch the games, you're always feeling like, ooh, Chelsea dodged one there.
Right. Well, and we keep talking about the Brentford game too, but I'm waiting for them to kind of get unlucky, right? That's all I'm saying. And I think that, Burnley poses big a test as anybody went for a team that's, they're just not going to play. Now the game is at the Bridge. And when I initially thought, when I was looking at the lines, I thought it was at Turf Moor. That changes a lot. So I may be walking back this one. But one of the bets I put down, or I was planning on putting down, was Burnley double chance, win or draw, plus 300. That's not bad. Listen, I don't see Chelsea running away with the league.
They don't run. Well, they will not run away with the league. No,
that's what I'm saying. They're going to be a contender. They will not run away with it. Nobody's going to run away with it this year, I don't think.
The team that could is because
Liverpool of fucking AFCON.
Right. Liverpool has the underlying numbers to do it. City,
not without their horses for 6 weeks.
No, I know. City's problem is that striker thing is real. It matters. You need a striker.
But what if Foden is solving that problem for you?
He needs to solve it in more ways.
Sure,
right?
That's fine.
Where is the game where we're crossing, where we can't break anyone down and we're crossing balls in? Can he get on the end of crosses? Right now, he's not a guy who gets on the end of crosses where there's a volley to the back post and he roofs it into the net. He doesn't have all those shots yet, right? He still has midfielder skills. He hasn't like spent all his time being like, what kind of shots do I need to make? The way Ronaldo has clearly figured out every single shot he needs to make.
At every point, from every angle.
From every angle. And you know what? As much as I'm a messy guy, I do know that there is no way that Ronaldo doesn't practice taking every single one of those fucking shots.
Oh, yeah.
Like every single shot, back foot, side foot, top corner, this angle, that angle, someone in the way. He practices all those finishes. I think that when we think about the best players of all time, they're almost always the most talented and the hardest working, right?
Yes.
I don't think I would ever doubt Cristiano's hard work. Even at 36, he doesn't press, but
it's the preparation. It's not so much
when there's a goal that's to be had, he's on the move.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow, their XG is negative for United. That's crazy. expected SG is minus. Oof.
Yeah. Because
Basically,
he scores goals where you're like, holy
and Ronaldo
shit.
is saving their ass.
Right.
They've got 5 extra goals that they shouldn't have, and those are his 5 goals, basically.
So, but all that to say, I think Chelsea are without Lukaku still. They're going to be without Werner. Not that I think Werner's all that great. But can Ziyech really cement himself in this attacking band? Is Pulisic going to play? Because I saw that he was cleared for the upcoming international break. Hooray!
I would not. If I'm Tuchel, I am not playing him with Burnley, because the second he runs into James Tarkowski,
smack the shit out of him.
He just elbows him in the back of the leg, knees him in the back of the leg. His hamstring's going to go.
Yep. So okay.
I would not fuck with them.
Enough of Chelsea Burnley. Saturday at the same time, Brentford Norwich. Brentford really got taken to the woodshed by Burnley last week. But I like them at home to bounce back against a really bad Norwich.
Watch the goalkeeper. If
that's fair.
If Raya is not there for Brentford, just be aware that weird goals might go in. And Brentford had a really good defense, and it was a unit. But I noticed the goalkeeper, like, I'm getting better at watching football over these 10 years now.
Raya's out for 4 months.
Whoa, that's bad.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll coach him. Maybe they'll pick up where I think his name's Fernandez. He needs to be on his line, or at least be more aware. He gave up some goals that you're just like, is he supposed to be there? I feel like he's in the wrong place.
Look, I'm not arguing that at all.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
Norwich are terrible.
Brentford will not let Norwich find out if the goalkeeper is good or not.
No, they have to eat them.
They're negative money. They're like minus 160, something like that, to win the game money line. So I'm doing halftime, full time. Brentford. They're gonna beat the shit out of Norwich.
It could be the game where they put a 5 down.
Yeah. I also flirted with the idea of Tony with a few shots on goal in Brentford to win. That was about even money. I like this a little bit more because it's plus. And then another redemption. I guess a revenge tour, if you will, for me this week. I'm sticking with Leicester. I think that Leeds are like
against Leeds.
Leeds are shaky. They're home. They're at Ellen Road. I get it, but like Leicester really are going to have something to prove against a bad defensive team.
They are a bad defensive team. They played on Thursday.
That's fair. But you almost can't miss that many chances like they did against fucking Arsenal twice in a row. And they're plus money. They're plus 150 money line. So I like them a lot. Those are my 3. What do you have?
I have the Laurent Love parlay. That's Brentford, City.
Is that you touching boys?
Yes.
Are you betting on young boys now?
Betting on young boys. Brentford, Brighton, City to win in a parlay at plus 340. They're all negative money line, but as a group, it's a good one. And then I'm not going to put money on this, but United are plus 370 against City. If you have no skin in the game, that is about as good a bet for a Big 6 matchup as you're going to get. Trust the City fan. City lose this game. This is a serious game.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You just told me about a parlay with Manchester City money line in it, and then you told me not to bet against Manchester City.
I understand that. I'm betting for my team.
Oh,
I like them as the favorite. They're the favorite.
So what we're hearing is don't follow on Laurent's parlay.
All I'm saying is look at it. It's an interesting. I know that it contradicts itself. I understand that, but this is what gamblers do, right?
Yeah.
They have a little bit of both going on, right?
Ooh.
If you don't want to mess with the parlay because you're like, you know what, I don't like those 3 together, and you don't have any love for City, plus 370 for United is tasty. I'm just not going to take it.
I kind of want to put Palace in there.
In the parlay?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you get for that?
Well, the thing is that I won't be able to I'm for a game that
Palace to win in that parlay.
Well, yeah, but what I was going to say was it's got to be really tough to find a book that'll give you double chance in a parlay, right? Because that's what I would bet on.
I don't know how you.
I know. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't bet on Palace money line and a parlay, right? Like or as part of a parlay, I would say Palace win or draw against Bulls. Yeah, I could see that at home.
You can do draw no bet for that.
Yeah, but yeah. Which is effectively, yeah. Yeah, okay. Maybe.
Palace draw no bet is minus 135, which is not a good bet.
In a parlay, it is.
In a parlay, it is, yeah.
Yeah. If you did Brighton and Brentford money line with a, if that's going to be way higher than plus 340, that's going to be plus 450.
Let's see what that. Let's
do the old calculations there.
I'm going to put City in it too because that was my original.
Well, no. Take City out just so I can see what the number would be.
Oh, okay. So
Brighton and Newcastle, Brentford and Norwich, Palace and Wolves.
You want
the 3 home teams: Brighton, Brentford, Palace,
and you want City out.
Yes.
So this is Palace draw no bet, Brentford and Brighton.
Brentford, Brighton money lines.
Still 350 plus 350.
Really? Huh. Oh, because City's only minus 135 to win?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought they would be higher.
No. Well, I mean, if City's plus 3, if United are plus 370 at home, City can't be that much of a favorite.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me see what it looks like with City in my parlay. Oh. Then it's plus 6.
Then you're it's a 4-leg. It's a 4-leg.
Yeah,
that's a
4-legged parlay.
So we don't talk much about hockey.
Tasty.
We don't talk much about hockey or college football betting on our show. And not that I'm going to dive too deep into it, but I have a saying. I have a nickname for myself when I do parlays. I call myself Mikey 2 for 3 because that will be a parlay that Brighton win, City win, and Brentford will lose, or something along those lines, right?
Understood.
I will go. Mikey is a good old fashioned Mikey 2 for 3, and I will walk away with not even the shirt on my back. So, so that's where I do get carried away often. With not so much because the way that they built a city on shit like this out in Nevada is that basically they go, oh, you did it, right? Just there's then you're like, if I add another one, then it's plus 700. It's like, no, it isn't, dummy. It's plus 0 because you're gonna fucking lose. I hear you. That's where you separate the men from the boys, where you can go, all right.
You know what? As a straight
your eyes
bet,
get too big.
As a straight bet, Palace at home plus 150 is pretty nice.
Yeah, it is. But I might do draw no bet for them. We'll see.
What was the one that I liked? Oh, I liked West Ham, Liverpool draw plus 310.
Yeah, no, I could certainly see it.
Let's draw no bet for that one. Ooh.
That's going to be plus probably about even money.
Plus 275 to West Ham.
Really? Plus draw no bet?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too late for me to be doing math. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm putting that into my little box here. I'm going to take West Ham draw no bet.
Don't put it in a parlay.
I'm not putting it in a parlay.
All right, good. I'm glad. I'm your
sponsor.
Then
but then I don't make any money. It's boring.
I literally just said that. But yeah, we should have a good weekend on our hands. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And then, right? Is that next? Then we have another fucking international break. So
Mike is going to be on his own. I'm going to be in Sweden.
That's right.
Which is fucking random.
We're you're not leaving me just yet, but yeah, we're going to figure out some guests hopefully to have. And so I'm not doing this by myself, and God help me figure out something to talk about. But until then, Laurent, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Thank you, Squeaky Bums. That was the Squeaky Bum Time Podcast with Mike Salerno and Laurent Cortines, the football wing of the Chop Sports Network. We record when people watch football on Thursday nights, so Tuesdays and Fridays. So be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. Tom, thank you for writing reviews. Kyle, shout out for watching the show. Julien, for listening in France. My sister, for giving respect. So if you listen on Apple, please rate and review the show. We know you're there. We'll give you a shout out. Enough respect. Big up your chest one time. Yeah, I stole it from Jesus and Miro. All right.